And this is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. I'm your host, IJ, and I welcome back our two new co-hosts. Oh, no, I'm just kidding, Avery. You're not new.
How's it going, ladies and Jews? Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome, and Miss D.
Hey, guys. Good to be, on the crew now. On the team crew.
Yes, it's so official. Yeah. We had overwhelming support of Miss D to come back and be permanent, so... You're here. You're here.
Thanks, guys, for the love.
And we're in our new Queen studio, which looks amazing. Deep underground bunker.
Very underground.
Yeah. So we have a great topic for you today, and that is singles events. Who has been to a singles event? Raise your hand. So many people. That's so amazing.
Or not. Some people haven't.
Some people haven't?
Yeah, Misty, have you been there? Have you been to a singles event before?
I've not been to a singles event, but I've heard of stories and not good stories.
What's your perception? I'm curious to hear.
Why I haven't been? I feel like could be very overwhelming and you're just pushed into obviously you're there because you want to find somebody, but it could be very overwhelming.
So what's your perception of this? What do you think goes on at the singles event? Because IJ and I have been to singles events.
Right.
And, we know what they're like. Certain ones are held better than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just curious to hear what the outside perspective is, because there's a stigma towards singles events.
Right, yeah,
a lot of people don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't like them. There are so many feelings and emotions in a singles event, and there are various different kinds of singles events, right? You have the classic kind of shadchan run event, and then you have the more modern, fun, run by your friends singles event.
Yeah.
So there are many out there that people go to and have been developing. There are so many new different kinds of things coming out with the singles events, and I think it's pretty nice to see singles taking it in their own hands to create these things and start them. So with that said, we wanted to get into a little bit more discussion.
Yeah, so I'll open with my feelings about singles events. I'll open because people always love to hear my feelings, or lack thereof. So let's start. I think singles events are great for people who are open personalities. You have a very liberal, open personality. You like to talk to people.
Or extroverts, more
extroverts.
Yeah.
Exactly. Extroverted personalities
nice
do very
to meet
well.
you guys.
Yeah, like that. Except just without the creepy face you're putting on right there. But extroverts do well at singles
That's probably
events.
why I haven't gotten anywhere in those
right.
singles
If you're
events.
able to bounce off from person to person and you don't get tired from talking to other people and you're outgoing, you'll do pretty well.
Yes.
A person like me who can't stand people, who when they see the sight of multiple people in a room, say, I want to go back to my room and just watch YouTube videos.
Exactly.
Or binge watch Mrs. Maisel.
No, that's why I was. I agree with you. That's why I never wanted to go to one, because I feel like you need single events for introverts.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a thing.
Well, there's certain singles events if it's run well.
Right.
There are a lot of singles events that are run by people who don't know what they're doing, who just get a bunch of singles and put them together in a room and expect them to just mingle because they're there. There's free drinks and free food, and it doesn't always work like that. A good singles event
and goodie bags to go on the way out.
See, that's a good part. The goodie bag, the
no,
food.
I'm kidding.
People go for the food.
That's the last thing you. That's the
No.
last. That's the last kind of mark you want to make on these people.
Right.
Where you're there's always this one guy who's literally there for the free fries and cuts in line for the third slice of pizza. You never want to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, if you come home saying wow, that singles event, the hot dogs are great. And nothing about the event or the people you met.
Right.
What is
my
what
mother?
happened
My
there?
mother asked me all the time, how was the singles event? I said,
food
I
great.
brought pizza home. I have a brownie. I have a churro. Churro are very popular.
Good.
Churros are very
They're
popular.
good.
So yeah, there's so much to say, and I'm telling you, where do you get started with it?
Yeah, so different events have different feels, though. Like I was saying before, there are events that have a shotgun there who will provide her, guidance and bring you over to other singles. So that is very helpful to people. That could be very helpful.
Could break the ice.
Yeah,
for sure. I get that.
So they have the ones with the shadchanim. That's really good. And then there are many that I've been to where the shadchan kind of is in the corner and doesn't want to mix and wants things to happen more naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, so what would a Jewish singles event B, if we can't mention that there's always some kind of a game played, which is I'm not a fan of. But
Wait, what do you mean?
So there are always games being played. That's you either do the
speed
dating,
like
or you're doing some kind of table activity, and the guys rotate and the girls rotate. There are a lot of different things out there. I see so many.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It could be
sound
weird.
Fun.
It's not fun.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like the. I mean, just the game part itself is not fun. But I mean, just like the singles event part, the social anxiety that comes with a singles event, and then adding a game onto that and performing in front of other people, then you're like totally flustered and.
That's true. So what's the goal when you go? Like, what is your goal? You're gonna
usually when I go with my friends, my goal is to make fun of all the singles. Isn't that
you
terrible?
Always make fun of me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We find that weird guy.
Well, the goal. It's interesting because when
yeah.
you're going to a singles event and whether you're a guy or a girl, it's you're nerve wracked. Everyone, you have to have in mind that everyone's going to be nervous. So that's the first thing, and it just depends how you take out your nerves and your anxiety. Right? There are some people who kind of lean more introverted. Some people go more extroverted. I know for myself, I always go more extroverted and I start taking control and action and things like that. But there have definitely been events where I've went to where I became more introverted, where I didn't want to talk to anyone and just like be more professional and polished and have people come to me as opposed to the other way. And of course, I always recommend in a singles event always to go in with a plan. So plan is always key. You know,
with someone, no? It's better to go like
exactly.
A wingman.
That would be my second advice. Well, part of the plan is having a wingman. Absolutely. Or I don't know anyone who just. Well, I do know people who show up. They're the people you don't want.
Yeah,
people do.
A friend. Like
people
she's
do.
very extroverted and she like loved these things. She loved going to events. She loved like meeting with Shadchanim. It was like it gave her a high, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do you do that? So she would go by herself. Like she finds that fun, and I'm like, I mean, she's married now, so maybe it works.
Hey, it worked, right?
It worked for her. Did she meet somebody at a singles event?
I don't remember. I don't think so. So.
Well, and being an it's very tough because everyone has to kind of come to the middle because being an extrovert is most of the time at these events a little bit of a turnoff for a guy and a girl. That's
really?
kind
Why?
of my.
What do you mean?
Well, being an extrovert and going being too out there, people are like, oh, what's with this person? They start looking at him, asking questions like, what's this person hiding? Or oh, he's too masculine, he's too overcoming. And then on the guy's side for a girl, it's like, oh my God, I don't want like some girl running up to me and being like, hey, how are you? What's going on? I'm like, why are you eyeing me up and down? Like, what are you?
It's a problem when they don't look at you.
No way, you're not my type.
Yeah, it's a problem when they don't look at you, but it's also a problem when they do look at you.
I know you can't win.
You cannot win with women.
You can't win.
Usually, what happens at singles events for IJ and I, it's like we see that very nice group of good-looking girls, and then they just sit there laughing amongst each other.
They're always bickering and making little like.
And then they point at us like, "Oh, he has ketchup on his shirt." Like that's what the fear is.
That's funny.
But then you get a girl that comes over to you who has like spinach in her teeth, and you're like,
so you don't like the girl that comes over to you, like. You don't find that?
No,
really?
Not at all.
Why? I feel like it shows confidence.
No, it just makes it
like you're desperate.
She's coming to me, like. Ugh.
Most guys.
Who am I for her to come to? Like, come on. Like,
most guys want psychologically to do the chase, right? And that's a little bit of a it's a little bit of a change up, right? Every singles event I've been to, and I've been to maybe 10 to 20 somewhere around there. Over past many years, and there's always someone, by the way, who ends up meeting someone there, right? I haven't been to an event where and somebody finally, got to meet, their Bashert there, their Zivug. And I'm not surprised by that because you get people's resumes so many times, at a certain age, and you probably have been thinking, I'd like to reach out, might be a good idea. She might say no, or like, he's gonna, or the girl might be like, hey, no one's sending me his resume,
right?
And then when you get to the event, you could have that introduction. So it is there are definitely a lot of benefits to a singles event. it's always good to keep busy and have some kind of program. Every event so far does have some kind of program, but there are events who don't. There are organizations out there, you will not be named, who don't have any program going on. I don't think speed dating.
What's the point then? You just stand around.
You can't. Well, right. You're supposed to mix, or maybe there's a rabbi speaking, or some kind of fun speaker.
You need like that moderator or something.
You need to break the ice.
No, you don't want the rabbi speaking. That's not fun.
And I met my wife at a singles event.
I'll tell you what, that's the one thing that unites all singles together. It was when the rabbi speaks and everyone's like tuning out. That's
it's
it.
over, yeah.
We're out of here.
So what would you, Misty, say about a guy coming over to you when you were at a singles event, or if you were at a singles event?
Nope, wasn't.
But how would you want someone to come over and approach you as representing the ladies?
Would you? Do you want someone to come over to you, like say?
Right, I get why it could be a turnoff, because it's like, also if I don't like you, if I don't find you, I think attraction is a big thing. It could be a turnoff, and it's like, you're weird, don't talk to me. But I don't know. Well, I wouldn't. It depends. Like if he's a girl's like, we want a confident guy. So if he comes over to you, it's like, okay, this guy's confident. He has the guts to like. Some guys are like so scared. It's like, get over that. Like, be a man.
Right. Well, there's a difference.
I would push back. I would push back by that.
Right.
Well, I absolutely agree. We have to kind of bring down the expectation a little bit and say, what kind of world are we living in? Most guys who are going to a singles event are Orthodox, are maybe whatever the case may be. They did not grow up with girls. They've been in separate classrooms.
That's why it's so hard, because you never.
What
you didn't grow
more
up like
can
that.
you expect from someone to talk to someone?
I get it.
And also, very importantly, is that the fact that whatever kind of talking patterns or conversation they've learned with the opposite sex, they might have learned at in work, which is a very different kind of
dynamic,
extroverted dynamic. Exactly.
I get it, but still, like, I don't know, like guys should just
suck it up.
Exactly, just be confident, just get over it.
So having said all that, how do you, IJ, in particular, how do you approach a girl at a singles event? What's your move? Do you have a move?
I just walk up to that sexy fox mama and I say, "How can I buy you a no?"
Wow, that's one way to do it. She runs the other way.
And she runs the other way. It's worked one time. Well, like I mentioned before, always go in with a game plan. So important. You always want to go in knowing what you're going to do, what's going to be, maybe even ask who's on the list, who's going to be there.
Okay.
Right. Put up a little bit of fight. Hey, who's going to be there? Things like that. I also like to do it. This is the charm. This is the special bonus in this episode. Always go with someone from the opposite team. So always go. If you're a guy, bring a girl. If you're a girl,
That's
bring
so
a guy. Get an inside man.
Yes.
Get a spy.
Yes.
Get someone in there who could start going around and be like,
I hear that, but not everyone has that.
Hey, have you seen IJ over there?
Yeah.
Whoa. Or oh, hey, did you see Miss D over there? Hey, it looks good, right?
An inside man.
You need an inside man. Inside man, or inside people. We're politically correct here. Inside people. But
not everyone has that. Not everyone has like a guy.
Not everyone
friend.
does.
A lot of people don't. Not friends with guys.
You need somebody that's gonna take one for the team. Like you're Rudy Giuliani for Trump.
I get it.
Like that guy will take one. He doesn't care.
No, I hear it. It's a good idea, but some people don't have that. I have friends they don't talk to guys, so they're not gonna bring a guy to
They're not missing much.
You could bring us next time. We're really good.
Yeah.
Avery, I know you were mentioning you had some fun stories that had happened.
I had a story. So time. To get into a certain singles event, I was with a few of my friends in Muncie for Shabbos, and on the way back, they decided we're gonna go to this singles event in Queens.
Right.
And then we're gonna go to another one in Manhattan. So we went to the one in Queens first. Had a nice time.
Both on the same day.
We're gonna go to two. We were daring.
Baller.
Daring. Yeah, we decided to go to two.
Yeah.
We went to the one in Queens.
Right.
Left. It was a bust, boring party, nothing going on, not even good food. Then we went to the one in the city. We get to the place. My friend's like, it's in Lincoln Center Synagogue. I'm like, okay, fine. We put it in our GPS. We get there, walk in, bunch of people wearing black hats, white shirts. This is on Motzei Shabbos.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay, this is a different crowd. We're not really expecting that crowd. It was a different crowd. Fine, we'll go with it. They had really nice looking sushi. They had a whole catering station.
See, it's about the food. I keep saying.
So we start walking around. We get at the table. We sit down.
Yeah.
One of our friends is parking the car outside. We get there. We look at the table. It says Siyam Hashas for, Yitzchak Stein.
Oh, my gosh.
Totally wrong venue.
Oh, so it's
not
just
the
the
right
wrong
place.
venue.
We were at the
So
completely wrong
awkward.
venue.
What a singles event.
Did anyone notice? They're like, who is...
Did you find a chavrusa maybe at least? Like at least you
No,
came
we
away.
stuffed
at
our
least you came away
faces.
with
We
something.
stayed there for another half hour.
You took the sushi and then left?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We just stuffed our faces and left.
Oh, my gosh.
that's very fun, and that's also
That was my most successful singles event.
Wait, did you end up going to the right one
That's your most
after?
No, we just
ditched
booked.
it.
We just
Like,
went
I'm
to
done.
But that's always,
lounge.
etiquette is so tough at these things because how you dress when you're at a singles
Yeah.
event, how you dress, how you're looking. I went to one that was, I got a shady invitation to come to an event.
What does that mean?
I was not, it was just shady. It was like,
You ever get those
Did it-
backyard barbecue events? Like
backyard.
I hate
yeah,
those.
Yeah.
What is
so
what's
they're
a
these backyard barbecue ones.
What is that?
You can kind of get a good vibe. Like the ones I like to go to now are just the ones at a bar, a kosher bar, obviously like a kosher bar, kosher
Right.
place,
Mhm.
light crowd. So, but this one I was thinking about was a while back where I was going to the event, and my friend was leaving the state. He was moving to another state. Let's call it Pennsylvania. Actually, I think that's where he went. He was going to Philly, and he asked me to come along, and I felt bad because he was moving, and it was very tough for him because he really wanted to be in Shidduchim there, but he had a job opportunity, so he had to take it. So I said, let's go. So he picks me up in his van, and like I get in the back, he has like 6 girls. His younger sister, who was like 19, fresh off the boat from Eretz Yisrael, brought
gosh.
6 girls to this event, and we're looking at each other like, we're a lot older than them. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a very fun, interesting night.
That's so weird.
Finally get to the place, and it didn't say where it was. It just gave us the address. It didn't say where. Like, so I was expecting it to be at someone's house.
Right.
Anyway, P.S. It's like in this very, very fancy restaurant, and they didn't have an exclusive.
Oh,
So
my gosh.
we're walking in, and like there's my neighbor and my barber's over there, and
That's weird.
one of the Rebbitzins I know in the neighbor, and I'm like, oh god, first of all, you got to be kidding me, right? I went right over to start complaining, and the lady just pushed me along. She's like, go in the corner, so I go in the corner, and I just look for a second, when you have that like itch in your neck where you just have to look at the entrance, someone's coming in, and boom, it was a girl I had just said we had just broken up. It must have been 2-3 weeks before.
That's awkward.
I'm not. So I looked away quickly. She looked at me.
Oh, gosh.
I looked at her. I looked away. She looked away, and she ran out of there.
Oh, my gosh. It must have been a bad
boy.
breakup. You, scared her off.
Yeah, it was. No.
At least you're honest,
It was. It was weird anyway. But
Oh, my gosh. That's
Did you get your money
horrible.
back for that singles event?
I don't remember. Oh, I did have to pay. Yeah. One of those PayPal, Venmo, Gmail.
Never
things.
pay.
So
That's
you
a-
have to pay for,
Never pay. Never pay.
Never pay, right?
Make them pay you.
Oh.
You should make them
That's,
pay.
You should.
That's something.
I've paid, and then I'm like, okay, this was a bust. I want my money back. It's happened.
Oh, my.
And now a quick message from our sponsors.
So, Miss D, what do you have to say about guys eating at these events?
Eating?
What do you think about the proper etiquette? Is it weird? Because I know when I'm looking at a girl like chomping on a fat burger at a singles event,
It's
I'm
not
going,
attractive.
I'm going like, whoe. Or some other guy's like, hey, that's a real woman, and I'm not gonna.
I've heard that.
But
like,
how
guys
is what's the girl's opinion with that?
Yeah, don't be gross. Don't eat like I don't know.
Cholent food.
Yeah, just be proper. But besides this, I just want to say that single events is not the only hishtadlus. Can we talk about that for a second? There's so many other ways to do it that I think people have this idea that you only get married if you run to a million shadchanim or you run to all these events, and it's not the case. There's so many ways to do it, and I feel like there's so much extra pressure because it's don't tell a single if you don't go here, you're not getting married, or if you don't do that, It's I've heard a lot of friends tell me that, and it's so frustrating because it's extra pressure. For
Well,
no
not
reason.
everyone is built for shidduchim or
That's what I'm saying.
singles.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's
That's the point.
It goes back to also extrovert, introvert. It really depends what works for you and what your personality is.
Right.
So don't feel bad if you're not doing that certain thing that your friend's doing.
Yeah. Look, the people have social anxieties. They just can't be themselves in public like they are when they're in a one-on-one conversation like they would be on a shidduch date.
Yeah, that's true.
Or they just like the convenience of having it set up for them and they're, lazy putzes like I do. But it's either or,
Right.
like.
Yeah, that's true. So it's important. Girls, just remember that.
Yeah, I mean,
that was
I'm
really
okay
good.
with both.
Very deep.
It's a good thought. I'm okay with both.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, not everybody is meant for. This is a shidduch podcast, but not everyone's meant for it. And if it's not for you,
and I'm saying even within shidduchim, there is a bunch of ways. It's not just events.
Right. You don't have to just do the event. So I know you kind of touched up a little bit before, but what would be something that, being someone who hasn't been to too many or doesn't like to go to them, what would it take for you to go? Is there anything or any attraction or any kind of event that maybe you would say, oh, that's something I would be interested in doing?
I feel like if my friends go, maybe. You have to take your friends or girls.
So you have to push friends.
Like,
friends. That's why it's always good to do a hosting committee at some of these things, because you basically reach out to, let's say, 10 people and say, hey, you're the hosting committee. Everyone has to bring 4 people, or I'm charging you $600.
So that's good. You have like your little group.
And then you would go. Like you would feel a lot more
you feel
comfortable.
Safe. Oh my gosh, you feel safe.
Yeah, feeling safe is big. Yeah. Well, you're leaving yourself very open and vulnerable, and sometimes it's kind of like what I said before, where everyone there knows that why we're there. We're there, and that's the cat out of the bag, which everyone's very uncomfortable.
That's what I hate about it, though. Like I get there and I just smell.
But doesn't make it easier.
I smell the desperation. It's just like,
I reek from that.
I've heard that. My friends, some friends told me that. Like it's so desperate. Everyone's like so available. It's like a turn off.
It's a little bit.
It's so
I'm
weird.
a helpless romantic.
Yeah. Then you have like those vultures who just like go over to everybody.
Those could be. It's like you come off too strong.
That is the problem. That is one of the big problems.
But there could be a balance. No, like don't be a creep and come up like so strong.
Not the ones I've been to. Maybe the ones with like a good shotgun, and it's like a more of an like intimate event.
That makes sense.
Where it's more of like a quote unquote meet the shotgun, but not exactly a meet the shotgun. Like those could probably be better. I haven't been to those. People don't invite me for some reason. I don't know. But like that's probably better for the individual who likes a smaller setting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, I'm apprehensive when it comes to a huge singles thing. You always want to know, which could be a good idea. Hey, anyone out there? This is from our podcast. We would say maybe a smaller, intimate, more intimate crowd would work better. Maybe like, hey, it's just going to be 5 and 5 or 10 and 10.
Yeah,
that
could be
like a Shabbos table.
That could also be though, because then it's like a bunch of you. It's like I don't know. Either also that can go like be too much maybe sometimes. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, everyone can.
Yeah. But also, the thing at singles events is like you pick up everything you pick up when you're there. You just pick them up as if like it's a sign. So some girl is next to you and she's pouring a drink. That's a sign. That's a sign.
That's the one.
Signs. I love signs.
She scratches her nose while she looks at you for a second.
And that's a sign.
That's another sign that she's not into you. Then it's out.
You're online to the bathroom. She comes out of the door to unigender bathroom, and you're saying that's the one right there.
That's the one.
There are too many signs.
There's a lot.
Avery, what do you think a shadchan's involvement should be, and what are maybe some things you've seen at a singles event?
I've seen good ones. They bring you over to. Not in particular girls. They bring you over to a group setting. They introduce you through games.
Those are good icebreakers.
Where they take your name down.
Girls are better at games, though.
Yeah, we did discuss games earlier. We did discuss games, how they could be weird. But I would say,
what kind of game? Like what?
I don't know.
What do you have to do?
They're like sometimes. So one event I've been to, whereas they put like a picture in the middle. So it's a team competition. So they'll basically say, okay, they break up the girls into groups. Let's say there's 10 tables. They put 4 girls at each table. Some have 3, some have 5.
Right.
And then they would just send each guy to every single table, pack it up, and then every 5 minutes they'll say, okay, rotate.
Okay, got it.
But then there are some other times when they'll just do a general speed dating.
Oh yeah, I heard of
then
those.
There are soirees out there. The soirees are great because it's just like a lot of alcohol and feelings and emotions out there.
Yeah.
And no one
like
wants to impede
event.
on getting in on a little action, reaching out to people.
I've seen like poker events, which is weird. That's more guy oriented.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not sure why. You have to really set the game right to the culture of people that you want to have.
Right, so, for both, not just like...
So it's good for... So you're saying it's definitely good for a shadchan to try to bring people together, schmooze. So I think it's... I'm a fan of shadchanim being there, but obviously it has to be the right one. It can't just be...
Random.
Too bad. Not some bad ones.
None of the ones that we've blacklisted.
No.
There are quite a few.
Definitely not.
Those have blacklisted us. I don't know.
We no surprise. No, I'm joking.
We don't want them involved.
We will not name names.
So, ending a singles event. How do you kind of? Where do you go from there? Obviously, when you're watching Disney movies or a Disney Channel show, when you're watching Lizzie McGuire or you're watching
I love Lizzie
That's
McGuire.
So Raven.
They're coming back, Okay.
Tarzan.
Woohoo! That Boy Meets World.
Tarzan.
Good show.
Clearly upper millennials here now. Okay. They go to the prom or they do something like that, and it just ends magical. But not here.
All romance.
You know how it ends. You get to the door,
so nice.
and they give you a list, and they go, okay, please write down anyone that you're interested in going out with. I take the list and I just write down 2 names and I hand it back. And they go, just 2 names? I'm like, yeah.
It's better than 1.
And they're like, well, that girl, everyone requested her, so she won't say no to you. Oh, well, that makes my feelings
better. Yeah.
Really feel warm. And I said, that other girl, she already said she wasn't interested. And you're like, what the? But that's what they do. So how do you, Miss D, what do you think about... an ending. What's a good way to end things? I mean, if you like someone, should you go over and just, oh, hey, it was great hanging out? I mean,
do you ask for the number upright? Is that like a bad thing?
Either
do you slip the number in a pocket?
Either find somebody like middleman or just do it. You never know. Just get over yourself and do it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I like that. Strong. And Avery, how about you? What are your recommendations for ending the
run away and hide?
Or that. That's good too.
That's my move. That's my go-to.
That's it.
Run away, hide.
Go to your room, watch Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Go home.
Yeah.
So I would, I've gone over to some girls I've liked at these events, and I've said, hey, it was really nice meeting you. Hope you had a good time. Hatzlacha Rabba, and will you marry me?
Those are the ones that feel more business oriented, like interviewee, though, right?
They
could be a little interviewee.
There are a lot of them seem very.
They feel like quick chat. Okay, I know you went to this school.
Right, all the questions.
You're this age. This is why you went to this college. This is what you want to do with your career, and then you're done.
Right.
And then that's the event. That's
right.
And then you don't have any real time to cultivate a relationship and
But then you
get
follow
to know
up.
them.
No, you follow up with. Is that normal to do?
Well, generally the matchmakers are really busy.
I was gonna. I heard that before. They don't get back to you.
They're 20 guys, 20 girls who are trying to coordinate and everything. So it's definitely good to go over to a matchmaker and make sure that they know who you are, and definitely get the names of the girls you liked.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can, steal the sign-up list. That always helps, by the way.
Good idea. Good idea.
There's plentiful amount of names on there. So. So I think, overall, there are a lot of benefits to singles events, but you have to ultimately go in with a plan, or head for the hills.
And no, it's not the only option. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's not the only option.
Right.
Don't pay. This is my.
That's
theory.
your thing.
Don't pay for it.
Don't pay.
Don't pay until
money.
you. Yeah, I mean, if it's good, you could pay after.
It's a paradox not to pay.
Just give them a cancel card.
Oh, yeah, cancel the card after.
Cancel the card.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, so this has been the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. Thanks, y'all, for listening.
The LMNO Broadcast Network.